So let's take a closer look at figure 3.2 on page 75. And the first point I want you to take a look at is point C. That gives you the combined consumption amounts for both countries. And at point C, we can see that the two countries together are currently consuming 530,000 units of food and 600,000 units of computers. So again, if we come over here and look at these axes from point C, this is exactly what we see. Now what I want to do is focus in first on what's happening with Northland, and we actually have two different production possibility frontiers here. If we look at this darker curve, okay, see this thing? You might remember the term production possibility frontiers from microeconomics. This black one goes along with Northland. This gray one goes along with East Isle. So let's focus in on what Northland is doing right now. And they are currently producing at this particular point, and that is called P and T. So that is Northland's current production level on their production possibility frontier. So they are currently producing, it looks like 800 computers, and it looks like 310 units of food. So I'm just going to come over here. All right, again, I've got point C mapped out. Again, that's where we said the total amount of food consumed was 530. And again, going back to Northland, they are currently producing 310 units of food. So they're going to wind up needing to import food. Likewise, all right, if we think about what's going on at point C with computers, we had said currently 600,000 computers were being consumed. They're actually producing 800,000 computers. So anything they are producing in excess of what's being consumed can be exported. All right, anything they're consuming in excess of what's being produced, they're going to have to import. So they're going to export computers. All right, so they are exporting 800 computers. And if we subtract the 600 computers being consumed, that's going to leave 200 computers to be exported. Likewise, in terms of food, we said that they were producing, in terms of food, we said they were consuming 530 units. All right, they're only producing 310, so they're going to have to import food of 220. All right, so that's for those numbers. If we come back over here, you'll find these numbers down here. But this is how you go about figuring them out for yourself. Now, in terms of East Isle, one way you could do it is you could just Seinfeld it and say, okay, well, whatever's happening, just do the opposite. In other words, for these guys to trade, they're going to have to do the opposite of what Northland is doing. But to understand it from the context of the diagram we have, let's come back here and revisit. And now we're going to check out East Isle's position on their production possibility frontier. So they are currently producing 750 units of food and 400 units of computers. So that's what I have over here on this sheet. And again, we can calculate their food exports because they're producing more food than what is being consumed. All right, and then in terms of importing computers, all right, if we take a look at that, they are going to, if we saw the total consumption of computers was 600, if we subtract the 400 computers being produced, that's going to leave 200 computers to be imported. Likewise, in terms of food, they're currently producing 530 of food. They're consuming 310 of food, and so that's going to be 220 or 220,000 units of food.